Call me Maria. My grandmother comes into the kitchen, where I am sitting down at the table reading a magazine. It is a dark winter day. Rain and sleet have been predicted. Abuela shakes her head as she looks out the window of our basement apartment. All of the feet that pass by are wearing boots. She pours herself a cup of coffee and sits down across from me. She sighs as if her heart is breaking. She shivers and pulls her sweater around her shoulders. Papi comes in whistling. It is his day off. He will spend it with friends he knew from when he was a boy in the barrio. They will go to the park, even if it's raining or cold, and talk about the good times they had as children. Abuela says, shivering, Maria, let me tell you about my island in the sun, the place where I was born, a paradise. Papi frowned as he struggles to put on his boots and says, I know your paradise. I lived there once, remember? In San Juan. I couldn't see the sun behind the buildings. I'll take the island of Manhattan any time. If what I want is paradise made of concrete. Abuela, ignoring him, tapping my hand as she speaks. I'm trying to stay out of it, hiding behind my magazine. Ay, bendita hija. When I was growing up on my island, everyone treated each other nicely, like family. We shared what we had, and if you were poor, your neighbors helped you. La familia, los amigos, el amor. That's what mattered. People were not always angry. People were not cold like they are here in the cold place. These are cold people. The sun shines every day on my island. Papi sounding angry. The familia on your island made fun of me, called me El Gringo, because my Spanish sounded funny to their ears. They laughed when I complained that the mosquitoes were eating me alive. Fresh American blood, they joked, to fatten up our hungry bugs. I couldn't wait to come home to my country, where people understand what I say and the mosquitoes treat everyone the same. Abuela, paying no attention to Papi, moved her chair closer to mine. When I was your age, on my island there was no crime, no violence, no drugs. The children respected the adults. We obeyed the teachers, the priests, the pope, the governor, and our parents. The sun shines every day on my island. Papi, I once had my wallet stolen in the plaza of your pueblo, Senora. I used to watch the news in the bedroom while everyone else had sat hypnotized by the romantic telenovelas in the living room. On my screen was the same world I see on our TV here. Drugs, guns, angry people, and violence. Only difference, the bad news was in Spanish. Abuela, not listening, looking into her cup as if she was watching a movie. The sun shines every day on my island. Papi, in a mocking tone of voice. The sun shines every day, that's true. While I was unhappy, missing my friends here, while I was lonely, the sun shone every day, and it was 110 degrees in the shade. Abuela, on my island. Before she can finish her sentence, the lights flash on and off, and we hear the gasping sounds of the electrical things shutting down in darkness. A roll of thunder shakes the glass window. We hear the sound of feet running on the sidewalk above our heads. Abuela gets a candle from a kitchen drawer, places it on the table, and lights it. There is another roll of thunder and the sound of pouring rain. I hear Papi opening the pantry door to get his flashlight. The telephone begins to ring. I run to get it. Grateful that it has interrupted a culture clash I have been hearing all of my life. It is the old battle between island Puerto Rican and mainland Puerto Rican. It is what finally drove my parents apart. On the telephone, I hear Dona Segura's shaky voice asking me in Spanish if Papi can come see about a smell like gas in her apartment. Everyone else is away for the day. She is blind. She does not even know that it is dark. Abuela nods. I know she will go stay with Dona Segura. Papi, already dressed for his day off, day of freedom, listens to me tell Dona Segura that she will be right up. I look at my father by the light of the candle. Both of us sigh in unison, a big, deep, melodramatic Puerto Rican sigh. Abuela's candle is blown out by our breath. Then there's a sound of 3 people laughing together in the dark. A new home. Mommy and Papi said it was a good opportunity. Lourdes wasn't so sure. Why did she have to leave Mexico? She did not want to immigrate to California to live with Tia, her aunt. Lourdes had never met Tia, Angela. She had seen photos of her. She looked like Mommy, pretty and always smiling. But Lourdes thought, you never can tell what a person is like from a picture. Mommy said Tia Angela had a small apartment. Lourdes would sleep on a couch. How could a couch be a home? Lourdes was used to the ranch with the horses and chickens and goats. There was room to run and play. Not that she played anymore. She was 13. But she liked the uncrowded space. Mommy promised that California would be wonderful. Poppy was sick and could not work. Mommy thought that Lourdes needed more attention than she could give her. Plus, Lourdes could study with the best teachers. Mommy said she would email every day. So now Lourdes was walking off the bus to meet this woman she did not know. She got her bags and watched as an unsmiling woman with rough hands stamped her passport. I'm an immigrant, Lourdes thought. She took a breath and walked through the doors to where hundreds of strangers stood. A small woman was waving at her. Lourdes approached her slowly. Tia Angela gave Lourdes a giant hug, which Lourdes shyly returned. Angela and Lourdes got into the car and drove through wide streets. They stopped in front of an ugly building and walked up broken concrete stairs to the second floor. Tia unlocked a dirty brown door, and Lourdes followed her. Inside the apartment was an explosion of color and warmth. The walls were deep yellow, just like at the ranch. Lourdes looked around the kitchen. In the cupboard was a plate that Mommy had painted and sent to Angela 3 years ago. Above the sink, she saw little figures like the ones they sold in the market back home. On the wall, there was a painting of Mommy and Angela when they were young girls. Lourdes had heard Mommy talk about that painting. Her abuela had made it. Both girls looked so pretty and so happy. Tia pulled out one of the red chairs and asked for Lourdes to sit down. She placed a dish of sopillas and a bowl of honey on the table. Lourdes noticed the glass cake plate. Mommy had one just like it. Tia brought a pot of tea and 2 mugs. She sat down in the other red chair and looked across the small table at her niece. They looked so much alike. Lourdes saw her mother's eyes and her mother's smile. Tia took one of Lourdes' hands and said, "Welcome home, mija." Lourdes felt Tia's soft, warm hands on hers. She glanced at the portrait of Mommy and Tia. The sopillas smelled so good. They made her mouth water. Then she looked at Tia. Lourdes smiled. Yes, this is home.